against mediocrity, it ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war. We wage a war against mediocrity, it ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity, it ain't no friend to me.
What's up out there, family and friends? It is your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, bringing you another edition of Motivational Monday. Woo! And I'm excited about being here. Hey, for all my people out there, holla at your boy as you begin to come in the room to let me know who's out there. You don't go to your people's house and don't holler at them and say, what's up, people? So y'all stop in here, y'all holler at your boy. For all my replayers, give me about a minute and a half as I begin to share this out to my social media outlets. Starting to see the eyes line, starting to rise up. Y'all holler at your boy. Who's out there? Let me know who's out there. And I'm going to share this to all my social media outlets right now. So y'all give me about 30 seconds. Hope you all having a fantastic week out there. Hey, Pat, thank you for joining us. And you on time, ready to break bread. Hey, what's up, Mom? Thank you for joining us. Hey, what's up? I see some more eyes out there. Y'all holler at your boy. Let me know who's out there. Don't stop in and don't holler at your boy. Hey, Vaniqua, thank you for joining us. Good to see you also. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you all always being here on time. I got some more eyes out there. Y'all holler at your boy as I share this out to my social media sites. Give me about another minute and a half because we are definitely going to break bread today. One more place. And if y'all would, I know y'all are here on time. Thank you so much. If you would, please type names down in the box and go ahead and invite people for me too, please. Because I'm telling you, tonight is going to be a bread-breaking moment, y'all. I'm telling you, yesterday I coached 5 games, or this weekend I coached 5 games. So my voice was a little shot, but it all came back right when it needed to be. So I am here, and we are going to break this bread tonight. Give me a few more seconds as I share this out. If y'all would, please share this out as well. Because whatever you sow, you're going to reap it, man. If you all help me build, you're going to get the same thing in return. Build, baby, build. To me, we're all in the same phase where we're building. And my mindset is that you haven't attained until you leave this side of the earth. So in my mind, we're always building. And I ask, and I see the eyes still adding up. Y'all help me to build this out here right now. Invite 1 or 2 people, and we're going to get ready to break this bread. Give me about 10 seconds, and we're going to get ready to go. All right, let's get into it. We got a little over 10 eyes right now. Let's go ahead and get to this thing. I'm your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, coming again with you for another edition of Motivational Monday. Could not be more excited about being here with you all tonight. And I know Vaniqua, you're going to understand what I'm saying. I know she's gone back and listened to last week 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 or 5 times, and have gotten the highlights and everything from all those. And so, one second, y'all. One second. And so she's gotten the highlights. As I was listening to the broadcast from last Monday, I said something that wasn't really in my notes, but I thought it was phenomenal, and I needed to unpack it. I said that life is a negotiation. Hey, if you're not going back listening to these Motivational Mondays and listening to these Bridging the Nations on Sundays, man, I'm telling you, you're missing some good nuggets that are meant for you to bless your life, that are meant for you to walk in your wealthy place, that are meant for you to be the head and not the tail. If you're walking around and you're missing these words, then you're missing out on blessings in your life. I'm telling you, everything that you want in your life is going to first be created mentally, and then it's going to come from the inside out. And if you're not gaining the right information and showing us how to put these proper behaviors in action in order to see the proper fruits in our life, then you're missing out. If you think your blessing is coming osmosively, or that God is just going to do a thing, or somebody just going to come and just hand you a sack of money, it's not going down like that. Don't let me be the bearer of bad news. It's not going down like that. It's not going down like that. You got to understand that this world is, the kingdom and the world system and that way are set up similar, that it's going to cost you something to get somewhere. And it's up to us to decide what price we're willing to pay. Bernie Madoff, with the Ponzi scheme, he decided, I wanted to get somewhere so bad that he did it unfairly. He did it unjustly. He schemed people out of his money and he died in prison. That was the cost for what he did. Then you got some people like my boy Tyler Perry that built it from the ground up. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk that built it from the ground up and said, man, I'm going to take an idea and generate something. Man, this thing is not just going to happen because the great I am is in you. There is a requirement on your end in order to see this through. Y'all holler at your boy out there. Holler at your boy. And I said last week when I was talking about take it by force, I said last week as I was going back listening to that broadcast, and I said life is a negotiation. And from that one thought, this hey Lisa, thank you for joining us. From that one thought, if spent out of life is a negotiation. And so tonight, episode 82 of Awaken Your I Am, if, simply one word. Hey, Joy, thank you for joining us. If is one word, but it's so powerful. If is a conditional clause on the condition, a supposition that is in the event that, if, in the event that our life, this foundation of our life is built upon if. Come on, man. Thank you for joining us, Tina. Come on, man. Tonight, life is a negotiation. If, that word if, something essential to the appearance or occurrence of something else. So something essential to the appearance or occurrence of something else. If. That word if is used in my favorite book, the Bible, almost 1,600 times, talking about the promises of God, talking about the things of God. If was used 1,595 times, and some would call it the good book. I call it basic instruction before leaving earth. I call it my book of seeds. If was mentioned in there that many times. And so when I think about life as a negotiation, I believe that God introduced the negotiation through the word if. And he gave us a bunch of conditional clauses that if we did certain things, we can eat the good of the land. That if we did certain things, we can change the fabric of who we are and the fabric of what my family can be. If. I think sometimes we negate the power that is in our life because we fail to realize that he's given us a choice of if. Life and death have I set before you. I have the opportunity to choose life. Thank you for sharing, Tina. Or I have the opportunity to choose death. They both are set before me. It's my decision to choose. If I choose life, I get the fruits of the land. If I choose death, I get the fruit of the land. Life is a negotiation of the decisions and the choices that we make. Boy, I'm going to break bread before this is over. I'm trying so hard to take my time with this one tonight because if I am successful, listen to your boy. If I am successful tonight, I will have given you the power and the tools to say that whatever I want out of my life, I can if it and get it. Or the converse is that also, that if I continue to live my life where I'm speaking doom and I'm speaking death and I'm speaking destruction in my life, if I do those things, then I eat the fruit of that land as well. That our lives become a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's why it's so important, episode 82, Awaken Your I Am. That's why it's so important to allow the great I am to awaken your I am so that he can do the good that he chooses to do through you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a setup. Somebody holler at your boy and say, get in the box and say, this is a setup. It is a setup. If you make the right choices, failure is not an option to you. I just broke bread. To him that believe and speaks and say, be thou cast into, speaks to the mountain, say, be thou cast into the sea, the mountain will be cast into the sea. If you, oh man, I'm breaking bread right now. This is a set up. We got to understand that this, come on, man, y'all getting in the box. I got some people waking up out there. Y'all waking up out there. This is a set up. Come on, Pat. Choices come with responsibility. They come with great responsibility. And it's our ability to choose that has all the fruit of the land that we eat. It's my choices. So if appears, I want to hit you with a couple of these if statements. If thou does well, shalt not thou be accepted? If thou does well, shalt not be accepted. So you mean to tell me that if I do not do well, then I will not be accepted? Then that is exactly correct. So there is a choice of whether I'm accepted or whether I'm not. There's a set of behaviors. Oh, Aunt, don't go there so early. There's a set of behaviors and another level of belief that goes, if you do well, will you not be accepted? What are the behaviors? What are the thoughts? What are the beliefs of a person that is doing well? If I do well, will I not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin lieth at your door. Death and destruction lieth at your door. It's an option, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another if. I'm going through this thing. I'm trying to stay calm, but I know where I'm going, and I'm going to turn this room upside down. And if you at your house, get ready to turn that living room, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, wherever you are, upside down, because tonight I learned that I take the power back over my life. I no longer have to live in Lodabar. Somebody better go get Mephibosheth and tell him David just sent for him. I'm going to give you everything that was belong to Jonathan. If you make it to me. I'm about to break bread tonight, boy. And slow up, motivational teacher. Slow up. I gotta lay this out because there's so many of us that put limits on our life. There's so many of us that have stopped believing at some point of our life. There's so many of us who define ourselves in a position of our life that wasn't maybe stellar, that wasn't the best that we could be, and we sat there and we defined ourselves at that moment in life. I always ask my wife, man, and I love her for this right here. I said, man, my wife had a master's degree. She was working on her doctorate. My wife had a brand new car, or at the time when I met her, she had two cars, she had a house, she had a mortgage, she had a career, she had all these things going for her. And at the same time, here I am living with a colleague in a room the size of a closet. I had 4 suits. I had a box spring and a mattress. That's all I had at that moment. I had a big car, a lot of debt, a foreclosure. I had a lot of things that were going wrong in my life that she naturally could have looked at me and said, man, this dude ain't got it together. Hey, Shamika, thank you for joining us tonight, sis. Thank you for joining us. She could have easily looked at me and said, man, this brother don't have it together. But I asked, I said, man, because you look at the motivational teacher now. I never was that person, but I had to go through some things to get up out of there. And I asked her, I said, why in the world would you go to my colleague's house and see how I was living when you had your own spread? Why in the world would you say this dude might have something? She said, you never spoke like where you were. You only talked about where you were going. You never spent much time talking about where you were. And for most of us, we're spending too much time talking about where we are. And we're not spending enough time being conditional about the behaviors that I'm building right now. If I learn how to dismiss this spirit of poverty, I learn how to overcome, and I make this spirit of poverty subdue to my dominion on this earth, I can eat the fruit of the land. If I start making decisions in line with Dave Ramsey and get myself out of debt, that I don't have to be begging Peter to pay Paul. If I make those decisions, I no longer have to stay in this predicament. But the moment that we've accepted, the moment that we've accepted This seat that I'm in right now, to be truth, is the moment where you've given up the ghost. It's the moment where you said, this is my permanent position. And some of us have been sitting in that permanent position for 5 and 10 years, but it was never meant to be permanent. It was only conditional. That moment was only meant to show you to yourself. That moment was not for you to define yourself. That moment was meant for you to discover yourself. Oh my God, that's a bread breaking moment. You were never supposed to define yourself in that moment when you were living to the equivalent in the room of size of a closet. You were never supposed to define yourself. You were supposed to discover yourself. And you've allowed yourself to sit there and water in disbelief. You allowed yourself to sit there and talk about woe is me. You've allowed yourself, I'm telling you right now today, baby, you don't have to sit there in that seat any longer. If you, boy, I'm about to break bread. You got to decide on a set of beliefs that allow you to believe that there's more to you than the seat that you sit in right now. Oh yeah, I'm breaking bread right now, Joy. Come on, Tina. I'm telling you, that should be 5,000 eyes right now, because there's so many people that the coronavirus allowed them to look at themselves. And when they look in the mirror, they didn't like what they see, but they don't know how to change the image that stands or sits across from them in the mirror. And the motivational teacher to the masses is here to tell you what you see sitting across from you is subject to change. If you, I just broke bread. I can really get off this thing right now. I've been drinking tea trying to get my voice back, so I'm gonna sweat tonight. I can really get off this thing right now, because if you don't need anybody else to bail you out. You don't need the stimulus package, baby. You your own stimulus package. If you don't need Steve Harvey, Edmund, man, you're the clearance sweepstakes winner. No, if your gift is hidden where God hid your gift, the only place where he knew you would get it. If you forget my mama, I need Tyler Perry. I need Jeff Bezos. I need Elon Musk. No, if you forget them. If you do, you know who the great I am is in this earth? He said, if thou does well, will you not be accepted? Define well, motivational teacher. Well is a setup, a belief that is shown in the earth by a set of behaviors that define who you are. Your energy, oh man, I did this a year ago. Your energy communicates to this earth who you are. Man, I'm breaking bread right now, way earlier than I wanted to. I'm breaking bread right now. Your energy communicates what you believe. Well, that cattle on 1,000 hills belong to me. And then you go home and you scared, talking about, man, I don't know what's gonna happen to me. My light's about to be turned off. My car about to be repossessed. My kid ain't. No, either the cattle on 1,000 hills belong to you, or either it doesn't. And what you and your energy communicates to the earth what you believe. If your energy, your words, your thoughts, your behaviors communicates to the earth what you believe. That's why there are going to be many in the last days going to say, Lord, Lord, going to say, depart from me. Why? Your energy was never with me. Your heart was far from me. And there are going to be many of us that when we get to the other side, we're going to look at what we could have had, and we're going to say, man, all of that was given to me before the foundations of the earth, and I forfeited all because I decided to sit in the seat that I think the earth prepared for me. Oh my goodness, I'm breaking bread right. This is the best I've felt all day. Oh my goodness, boy. When I get in this chair, I transform. I think my next speaking engagement, I might just take my chair right now. It's something magical going on right now. If you only believe, man, I'm telling you right now, this stuff is life changing. Life is a set of negotiations. The moment we believe that I can sacrifice what I want now for what I want eventually, like right now, I can give up driving an S550 Benz and invest in my business. That's a sacrifice. I believe so much so in my vision that I'm willing to sacrifice what I want now, later, so I can build for what I want in the future. Life is a negotiation. Your time is a negotiation. Your resources, there's a negotiation. That's why I laugh at people that believe that their lot in life is fixed. They believe that when I came to this earth, the only thing I could do is this. They believe that when I came to this earth, that God made me in this mold, and this is the only thing I can be. Ladies and gentlemen, stop shortchanging who you are. It's time for you to be introduced to the real you. Come on, Joy. If I only believe, if I only adopt the behaviors, if I only spoke the words, it's all conditional. And I know this, some of this is not going to be popular for people that's looking for the genie in the bottle. Oh, I just want Kazam. Oh, if I could just find that bottle with the magic carpet, I just want Kazam. Wealth easily gotten will be easily destroyed. If you keep my commandments, if you shall abide in my love, if you want to abide in God's love, you have to keep, well, he loved me from the foundation. He's done all these things. Yes, he did. But you have to be in a position to where you can make decisions in order to get to where you want to be in life. In order to get to those decisions, you have to start adapting, number one, those beliefs, but also those behaviors that's going to get you to that next phase of life. I'm breaking bread right now. Faniqua said endless possibilities, but you can't just take the info given. You got to put it to work. It's the behaviors that build the manifestation. A farmer goes out to sow seed. If the farmer never sows seeds, he can believe for a harvest all he wants. If he does not sow seed, he can never reap a harvest. And many of us are believing for a harvest in a place where we have not sown any seeds. Come on, man. Pat said I had to crawl out the gutter. I needed this today on my stomach. Mind loaded down. I had a choice. If I choose to believe the great I am, I can come out of the chains and restrain myself in them. Come on, Pat. Man, listen to this. Man, I'm going to speak this to the person who allows the great I am to strengthen your I ams. You're not even bound when you're in chains. Boy, I just broke bread. Because the people that are chaining you are not in control of the chains. You are. My boy Peter, that joker, I was Peter Paul. That joker prayed, man, they had an earthquake came, that joker walked out there. Peter got back knocked on the door. They didn't believe it was him, but why? Because they thought they had him bound. He was like, no. You can't bound a person with an awakened I am. Even when they think they've won, you got the victory. I got that VICTORY. Even when you think you got me down, I already know the end of the story. Come on, somebody say it. This is the piece that baffles me. That you can hear people that believes so strongly and so much, but when it comes time to put the faith in action, they don't have the word. But I'm telling you, the moment you start believing that the great I am awakens your I am is the moment that you are free indeed. You could be on a job where they are trying to oppress you, and you walk around with the Victory because you know that, man, God holds the hand of the king in his heart like putty. I don't look to a man. I look to the great I am for my complete harvest. If I humble myself, man, I'm breaking bread right now. And see, man, the challenge, I got to do this. I talked about the behaviors. I talked about the behaviors that go along. Success is predictable. Oh my God, I'm breaking bread right now. Success is predictable. I see a lot of y'all out there. Y'all holler at your boy. I see y'all jumping in here. Holler at your boy when you hop on here. Don't come in the room and don't say, what's up, motivational teacher? What's up, big ant? Holler at your boy if you're in the room. Hey, it's all conditional. I choose my fate. I'm breaking bread right now. I'm breaking bread right now. I determine my fate. Does things go wrong? Yes, but the things that go wrong are not permanent. The things that go wrong are only meant to show me to me so I can grow past that set of behaviors that landed me in that position. It was my poverty mindset that landed me in a room the size of a closet. I never would have learned that about me other than being in that temporary position. It was never meant to be permanent. It was meant for me to gain better behaviors about managing my own money. I didn't need Gabriel to come down from heaven to show me me. That situation showed me me. And the situation that we spend the most of our mental energy on is only meant to show you for who you are for that moment, not for you to be there forever if I learn the lesson and apply. Come on, I got that Victory. I got it. It's mine. And listen, man, life is a negotiation. Y'all never heard that from a motivational speaker before, have it? It is a negotiation. And that word if, and life is a negotiation. It led me to if. And then I started thinking, I went a little deep and I got to get to something. I ain't gonna be on here too long. I got to get to something, but I started thinking about cause and effect. Listen to this. Cause and effect is the relationship between two things. When one thing makes something else happen. Cause and effect. Most of us look at our lives and we only see effect. We never judge the cause. We never talk about the cause. We look at our lives and I only see the effect. And I sit there and I spend the majority of my life looking at the effect and never looking at and dealing with what was the cause. Ladies and gentlemen, you meet nobody in your life other than somebody that was meant to show you to you. The boss that you hate was only meant to show you to you. That child that reminds you more of you when they act up with their personality that just like yours was only meant to show you you and give you those behaviors that you have to improve in order to walk in the good of the land. But especially spiritual folks only want to look at the effect. It was my fault that I was making $100,000 and spending $200,000. It is nobody's fault around me. It was my fault that I was in $30,000 in consumer debt. It was my fault I went and put my name on the that car loan payment for that big old car that kept me bound. It was my fault. It was nobody's fault. It wasn't the guy that sold me the mortgage, the reverse mortgage, the balloon mortgage. It wasn't the person that sold me the car. It wasn't the bank that gave me the loan. It was all me. And every one of those situations were meant to only show me me. That was never meant for me to be permanently broke. It was meant to show me that being broke is not permanent. Boy, I just broke bread right there. I just broke bread right there. We have to start spending more time with the cause than with the effect. You want to know how to change your personal situation? You got to change the cause. Hey, Winner, thank you for joining us tonight. If you want to change the effect, like you are in control of everything that happens in your life. My spouse is crazy. Your spouse is only crazy because you crazy towards your spouse. Yo, my kids are crazy. Your kids are only crazy because you crazy towards your kids. If you change the cause, you control the effect. Well, I'm so far in debt. You're not in debt because of you're just in debt. You're in debt because of the behaviors that drove you into debt. That mindset, that thinking, that set of beliefs, that if that you own at that moment drove you to that set of circumstances. I meet nobody but myself. Oh, somebody gonna get that tomorrow. I meet nothing but another lesson in life. I meet nothing but what I'm being drawn to because of the great I am. Don't you know that there's a hedge of protection around your life? That there's only so much that can happen to you. Don't you know that you're on this side of the dirt, that your destiny is still intact? Don't you know whatever circumstances you're in right now, you still possess the ability to walk out the total will of God for your life? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. This is that time. Got some people chiming in this conversation. Got to change. Got to change the cause. Got to do it. Generation curses that have created. But I choose to look beyond my environment. I can break the cycle. A renewed mind and spirit. Thank you. Yes, ma'am, Pat. Not only can you, I can, you will break the cycle. Got to look in the mirror right now. Oh, look, Pat, you don't mind if I stay right there for a little bit, because I know there's a lot of us that battle generational curses, or I like to call them generational behaviors. Yeah, there are some things that maybe we're predisposed to based on our environment. Some things we're predisposed to based on our environment. I'm gonna stay here for a minute because many of us battle wickedness in high places. Many of us battle, what we saw growing up and what happened to me growing up, and the things that I begin to shape my world based on those experiences. And we battle a lot of that because we have to overcome those things in order to walk in a new if. I just broke bread. We have to overcome that thought process to walk in a new if. That's why it's so important. The only way, I'm gonna break bread. Like I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I believe that 12-step programs are healthy for individuals. It's better than doing nothing. But I don't believe by calling yourself, hey, I'm Anthony, I'm an alcoholic. And I don't believe by calling yourself an alcoholic at every meeting cures you from being an alcoholic. I believe that what the language that we speak out our mouth changes what we believe. I believe that the thoughts that, oh, if I'm an alcoholic, it begins to draw me back to alcohol. And that's why AA only have a 20% success rate, because we're always calling me what I am, and you don't call me by what I'm supposed to be. The moment God, come on, man, Abram, now you are Abraham. Your name has been changed. Isaac, come here. You are now Israel. Like we got to change how we see ourselves in the mirror. We got to change what we believe about ourselves. That's the challenge with generational curses. Like I grew up with this in my environment, and I interacted with one another, and this is where I end up. But I'm telling you, when I chase my destiny, when I'm being drawn to my destiny, I outrun my past. Like I'm no longer concerned with my past when I have a force, the great I am, a force so much stronger pulling me. Yeah, Gene, call those things that be not as if they were. That's why I'm not a fan of 12 steps, because I'm Anthony and I have a poverty mindset. I'm Anthony and I have a poverty. You can't say that stuff every day and expect to be something different than that. Oh, the only way I could be sober is just keep reminding myself I'm an alcoholic. How about the moment I start reminding myself that I'm sober? That God is calling, that God is drawing me to something more than sobriety, that my life is bigger than just that one moment where I failed. I cannot define my life by my biggest failure. Boy, I just broke bread right there. Rahab, don't define your life by being a prostitute. Tyler Perry, don't define your life by living underneath by going underneath the porch as your dad beat your mom. Tamika Catches, don't define your life by your speech impediment. Steve Harvey, don't define your life by your stuttering. Kevin Hart, don't define your life by your height. Gary Coleman, don't define your life by your height. Oprah Winfrey, don't define your life by the childhood trauma you went through. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen Jobs, don't define your life because the company you created asked you to step down. Don't define your life based on those set of circumstances, because you could never outperform what you believe about yourself. I just broke bread. Tweet that right there. Give me credit. You can never outperform what you believe about yourself. I just broke bread. If you believe more in you, you will get more out of life. I just broke bread right there. Come on, man. I just broke bread right there. If you believe more about you, you will get, boy, y'all got me so far off my notes. Tina, you sent me on that route. Thank you for saying that. You sent me that way because there are a lot of people that struggle, that they believe I am the generational curse. And you got to change that I am. You are not the generational curse. The environment that you grew up in taught you generational curse behaviors. I'm saying that. They taught you, though. Come on, Coach T. They taught you those behaviors, but you are not the curse. You have been blessed. God has already blessed you with every spiritual blessing. You are blessed and you are highly favored. You are empowered to prosper. You're more than a conqueror. You're the head and not the tail. You got to change what you say about yourself. He said, Coach T said, I don't stay at that old address anymore. I got a new home now. I don't define myself by my past. Check out my I am now. That's the life. That's the life. You have to grow that I am. Man, I had something whole else I wanted to do, but I ain't gonna be able to get to it tonight. So I'm just gonna roll with this right now. If you keep my commandment, you shall abide in love. Cause and effect. If you, cause and effect. Cause and effect is the relationship between two things when one thing makes another or else happen. For example, if we eat too much food and do not exercise, we gain weight. Eating food without exercise is the cause, and the weight gain is the effect. It is the effect. The weight gain is not the cause. The eating without the exercise, the excess eating without the exercise is the cause. We got to move beyond the relationship with the effect. If you only deal with the effect and you focus on the effect, you can never draw anything else to you other than that effect. Because there's a set of let me start it this way. There's a set of beliefs which leads to a set of behaviors that will always lead you back to that effect. Until you begin to change the set of beliefs, that's first, to start changing the behaviors, then you will always end up in the same place, not because you're a bad person, not because you don't want more, but because that's your energy, that's your thought process, that's the pattern of behavior that you set up for years. And you cannot change what you're not willing to go back and check the cause. Every time I get ahead, I fall right back. Why? It's not the effect that's the problem. It's the cause. And believe you me, that there's something the great I am is awakening your I am to change so he can get you farther down the road in your wealthy place. Believe this, ladies and gentlemen, God is not concerned about your emotions. God is not necessarily concerned about your well-being right now. He's only concerned about your development as it relates to the call on your life. Man, I just broke bread. How could a loving God allow this to happen to me? How could I get lung cancer right now? That is a losing mentality. That set of beliefs is going to be the attitude that lands you in the ER, and you will die of lung cancer because of that set of thinking. Instead of saying, man, I know what the doctor just said, but this is for the glory of the Almighty, because I know I got too much purpose in my life. I know right now I ain't gonna die right now because the masses are waiting on me. Whatever he saw, I ain't gonna call him no lie, but it cannot come near me. The great I am has awakened my I am for a future so bright that I'm gonna need shades, and my time ain't now. You'll know when it's my time, because I'll be like my boy John. I would just go on the Isle of Patmos and I would be no more. Those are two whole different set of beliefs. That's two whole different way of looking at the world. We got the same glass. One of us see that glass is half empty. The other one sees it half full. I see it as all the way full. It's me. I go Tupac on you. It's me and the great I am against the world, baby. We will take on the world if we have to. Why? Because I believe so strongly in what God has placed on the inside of me that it will not die with it on the inside of me. We got to begin to look at the cause. Oh, they told me they doing a layoff at my job. You know what? Like them Hebrew boys, if they keep me, I'm good. If they let me go, I'm good, because my job never was meant to be my source. The great I am awakens my I am. The great I am is my source and not the doggone job. If they keep me, I'm good. And if they let me go, I'm good, because all things work together for my good. There is a cause and there is an effect. Man, come on, man. You can't break a person that is unbreakable. You will never defeat a person that's crazy enough to keep getting back up off the canvas after they've been knocked down time and time again. I'm going to keep getting back up. You knocking me out 7 times does not define me getting up on the 8th time. Eventually, I know the end of the story. I am more than a conqueror. Eventually, I know that I have the VICTORY. I know it. I know it. There may be multiple causes and there may be multiple effects. Ladies and gentlemen, life is a negotiation. It is a negotiation. If I choose to feel like that I have to fight my battle, like, you would be amazed at some of the emails and some of the inboxes I get based on my Motivational Mondays and about how I'm not inclusive of everybody, of how I don't do what people think I should do, or how you said this and I don't think that's biblically correct, or who cares? I'm not my vindicator. I don't go chase down every little squirrel because I'm working on purpose. I don't have to go and chase down what somebody said about me to try to make me prove that I'm something different than what they said about me. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. My cause has to be greater than my effect. The seed produces the harvest. What are we putting in the ground? What do we believe about us? Well, I just can't take that no more. Why not? Why can't you take it anymore? Because your flesh is fed up. That's the moment where faith begins. I just don't know how I'm going to do this. Why? How do you not know how you're going to do it? You believe in the great I am, right? He awakens your I am. What you mean? I don't know how this is going to happen. There is a way. I don't know how it's going to happen. You don't have to know. All you have to know that there is a way. There is a way. I believe, but help my unbelief. You have to be in a position that we're diligent and we make our calling and election sure. For if we practice these qualities, you will never fail. We have to be diligent. We have to make our calling and election sure. Motivational teacher, when do I need for my calling? When do I need to be the strongest in my foundation? It's when the winds and the waves come. The winds and the waves only come to show us who we are. They would never, man, don't you know rain can't exist always, that eventually the sun always comes out in the morning? Ask Annie, she'll tell you that. The sun always comes out tomorrow. It always, it won't last forever. It was only meant to point you to a cause much greater than you, so you can have an effect much greater than you. Oh, I just broke bread right there. I'm going to listen to this hashtag 345 times myself. because these are bread breaking moments. And man, we miss these moments because we're too busy looking at the effect. Stop spending your time looking at the effect, because your behaviors, what you do every day, how you react when nobody's looking, the words that you speak when it's just you all by yourself, the beliefs that you carry with you when it's just you. And I'm not saying it's okay. You're going to have some self-doubt. You're going to have some moments where you don't believe you believe. You're going to have some moments where it feel like it's all falling apart, man. Trust me, I've had those moments where I said, man, God, is it just me? What am I doing wrong? How do I get out? How do I get out of this situation? We going to have those moments. But in those moments are the moments when he's showing us what's in your heart. A man doesn't know his own heart. I think God is always revealing our heart to us. I think he's always revealing. We don't know it in our totality, but I believe that he's always, as we increase information and we gain new thoughts, I believe he's always revealing who we are on the inside. I used to be so insecure. I used to be so insecure, and my insecurity came out, and I felt like that I had to prove to everybody around me how smart I was and how I knew everything. And he used that me want to show everybody up as a way to show me my insecurity. Boy, you can never get to where you want to be because you feel like you got to be the smartest person in the room. And I had to deal, the root of the cause of that effect was insecurity. Until I started dealing with my insecurity, I never could have been promoted. Until I started dealing with the insecurity, I would have been out here competing with E.T. I'd have been competing with Les Brown. I'd have been out here competing with everybody that had a platform doing what I wanted to do because I was insecure. It would have never been about the eyes looking at me. It would have been all about validation for me on the inside. And I couldn't be the motivational teacher to the masses as long as everything in my world revolved around me, and it never revolved around the people that I served. I could never sit in this seat without having to deal with that root of insecurity because it came out as rudeness. It came out as arrogant. It came out as prideful. And all of those things what people said about me, and which now I agree, and the root cause of it was insecurity. And see, y'all looking at this screen, looking at me, saying, how could he do that? But I'm telling you, you got the same stuff in your life. You got the same stuff in your life that is hindering your manifestation. It is hindering your effect because you won't take time to deal with the cause. Oh, because you got to look like you perfect in front of people. You got to have it all together. You got your red bottoms. You got your red bottoms and your Gucci purse. You got your Steve Harvey signature suit. You got your Gucci shoes on. You driving your big Benz and you got it all together, and you can't look in the mirror and say who you truly are. You are a coward. You are a coward. You gotta, until you can undress yourself in front of you, you can never eat. You'll look over in the promised land and it's one step away, and all you will be able to see is all the enemies of it, and you can never eat the good of the land because you can't be true with yourself. And in that case, a man truly doesn't know his own heart. And I'm challenging you to get to know you. The more you get to know you, the more you can appreciate you. And the more you begin, man, you know what? Oh, here go you another bread breaking moment. You know where your confidence lies. Your confidence is not in you. Your confidence is in the great I am, awakening your I am throughout the entire process. Confidence doesn't come overnight. Confidence comes from, man, I saw there was a deficiency in my life in this area, and the great I am and I, we tackled that area. And now, man, I ain't where I want to be, but I thank God I ain't where I used to be. Man, there was a generational curse, and there was a learned behaviors of absentee fathers in my family. The great I am and I together, we the majority, we tackle absentee fatherhood in my family, and my two boys live underneath my same roof. And I saw that there was a spirit of poverty that plagued my family. And I said, man, I got to take it on. Head on head, the great I am and I, we got to go take this thing on. and said, man, we gonna pursue and we gonna overtake it. Yes, I had to live in a room the size of a closet. Yeah, there were days I didn't know how I was gonna put gas in my car. Yeah, there was days that I didn't know how and why I was gonna eat. There was days that I had to tell family members I don't when they needed something for real that I didn't have it. There were days where I felt less than. But man, I ain't gonna go into a whole nother course. But in this life that I'm trying to tell you, the only way to go up is to go down. The only way to go up is to go down. And until I start dealing with those individual behaviors, I can never get my if in line. If you decide to start building behaviors of a millionaire, you too can be a millionaire. If you start building behaviors to have a successful marriage, you too can have a successful marriage. If you start building the behaviors in order to have a successful business, you too can have a successful business. If you start building the habits to have a healthy body and a healthy lifestyle, you too can have a healthy lifestyle and a healthy body. I don't care. Well, they said I got stage 2 cancer. If you start building the beliefs and the behaviors that are consistent with the healed of God and maintaining the health. If I can only touch the hem of his garment, I can be made whole. Start building the right. She had the right mindset that led to the right behaviors. If I can only touch the hem of his garment, if I can only learn how to operate the envelope system from Dave Ramsey, I can get myself out of consumer debt. When you gonna get the right if I? Your if I has to be rooted in the great I am, awakening your I am. Man, there were some bread breaking moments on here today. Yeah, it was. I see a lot of eyes. I see people watching. I see people on here right now. If you're out there, man, holler at your boy. I want to appreciate all the people that stopped in. I'm looking at names right now that stopped in to visit us tonight. And man, it is my hope that you go back and listen to this 5 and 6 and 7 times. Oh, and you want views. I don't care about one view because views don't define me. I don't care about followers because followers don't define me. I'm not looking at being followed. I'm looking at being a person of influence. That stuff does not define me. Whether I got 45 eyes or 4,500 eyes, none of that defines me. And that's why I know the great I am can trust my cause and give me the effect because it's never about me. It's always trying to get you to a better place. And in order for some of these thoughts to start becoming concrete, for you to begin to change your if I, you got to get more of these words in your life. You got to get them, you got to get more of them, and you got to get them more consistently. The only way to change your mind is to change your thoughts, and to change your words, and then you begin to change your actions. The reason why some of us ride around the same road for all these years because we don't ever stay consistent enough to get the right thoughts. So I can get the right beliefs, so I can get the right words. So now I start having changed behaviors. Ladies and gentlemen, it took me 5 years to get my first secular promotion, or 6 years to 7 years to get my first secular promotion, and I've gotten 2 every year after that in corporate America. How do you do it, motivational teacher to the masses? It is a set of behavior. I had to change my behaviors, and most of us are not consistent enough with this thing in order to do it. That's why I'm challenging you. Go back. Listen to it 5 and 6 times. Go back. Hey, take a chance on you. When the last time have you invested in yourself consistent enough to get the manifestation out of the thought that you want? Invest in you. I'm challenging you to believe that you're worthy of your own investment. Believe that you're worthy of your own. I just want to do this and I want to do that and I need all this stuff, but you don't believe enough in it to invest in you. Oh man, I gotta do these 5 things. Before you get into 5 things, you need to get into this word right here and start to change your mindset. If you go take out a $100,000 loan with the mindset right now that you have, you just gonna be in $100,000 worth of debt. You got to believe that you got to invest in your mind. So when I get the 100,000, I ain't got to figure out what to do with it. I already know what to do with it because I've seen the vision in my mind so many times. It's like clockwork when I get in front of it. I ain't got to go create no plan. I've seen it so many times in my mind. My imagination. I started building from my imagination. My imagination has created this blueprint for the money already. If you ain't got the blueprint, you don't need the money. You go get the money without the blueprint, you're gonna end up in $100,000 worth of debt. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Work on your mindset right now. And so when you get the $100,000, you already know what to do. There are no questions about what to do when I get the money. Man, I just broke bread. There is no question about what I'm supposed to do when I get the masses to me. I'm going to break that doggone bread just like I broke it tonight. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm giving the people what I got. The same thing with you, start building it so much so in your mind that when you get there, it's no surprise to you. You like, I've been here mentally for the last 10 years. It just took 10 years for it to get to me. Boy, I just broke bread. I can run out this room right now. Boy, I'm talking to me right now. You believe it so much so when you get the doggone money, you like, man, like I got it and I don't even know when I got it because mentally I had it for so long. When your business, I raised boom boom room. I had it so long in my mind that I ain't got to physically have raised boom boom room to know that raised boom boom room exists. I will talk about it so much till it will exist somewhere, and all I have to do is attract it to me. I just broke bread. I just ain't got it right now. That kind of talk gonna leave you broken. That talk right there gonna leave you broke, busted, and disgusted. When the earth has it given to the children of men, change. That's what I'm saying. Listen to this 5, 6, 7 times. Listen to it. I see Faniqua 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I have no idea what time zone Faniqua's on, but I see her tagging in and messaging at 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 2, 3 in the afternoon. I don't know what schedule she's on, but what I'm saying is she believes she's worthy of the investment. And you have to see yourself worthy of the investment. Man, I ain't just saying you got to go back. I don't care who it is. If it's somebody giving you bread-breaking moments, go back and meditate on it. So observe to do what it says so you can become it and grow much fruit and make your way prosperous and have good success. Man, you got to make your way prosperous. Stop looking for everything else other than you. Than the great I am who strengthens your I am. You your own savior. You got your own cape on because he's working in and through you. Well, once Tyler Perry get one of my videos, I'm going to blow up. Once E.T. get me on stage with him, once Les Brown endorse one of my books, I'm going to blow up. No, I'm not. No, that is not my testimony. My testimony is that the great I am awakens my I am, and there's 50,000 million trillion ways in order for him to get me in front of the masses. There is no one way. I'm putting my faith in the great I am and that alone. Now, whatever resource he chooses to use, I'm down with it. But it does not have to come in a certain face, shape, or form in order for me to get there. God is creative. He will do a new thing in your life if you allow him to. Well, around this time, I always get sick. Why not say around this time now, I'm going to be well. I refuse to allow sickness to attack my body. We are the cause. We are the effect. If I change my cause, I get different effects. Ladies and gentlemen, you all have been phenomenal tonight. Thank you for hanging in there with me tonight. If you have not, please go and subscribe to my YouTube page at Williams Inspires, dropping fresh bread on there. If you have not, please go like my Facebook page at Williams Inspires, on YouTube, Periscope at Wage and War 32, man. Y'all got to get at your boy, man. I promise. As soon as basketball season is over, I will be dropping more and fresh new content. But right now, I'm pouring into these young men. We have 3 teams. We service 35, 40 kids in our basketball program. That's my way of giving them what I got on the inside of me. So I spend this portion of my time with those young men, giving them the keys to the kingdom. And I will, once I get through the basketball season, I will be on here more frequently like I was before. But I'm challenging you. Don't let these seeds fall to the ground. Pick them up and eat them every day, 3-4 times a day. This is your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses. And until next time, I am challenging you to wage war on mediocrity.
It ain't no friend to me.